I wanted to give you a very, very high level overview of what those phases were, so you have a crystal clear idea of like, okay, if I wanted to make this a 7-figure business, what's going to have to be put in place. Hey, what's going on? It's Joel Irwin. Welcome to another very special episode of Sold with Webinars, High Ticket Courses Book Preview Edition. If you haven't grabbed your copy of the High Ticket Courses book yet, head over to book.highticketcourses.com and grab yourself a copy. Today we're going to be talking about launching. What are the core phases of growing a high ticket course business? Today I want to break down the 3 phases that happen with any sort of high ticket course business. Not everyone goes through the 3 phases. Some people stop at phase 1, some people stop at phase 2 intentionally, and some people go on to phase 3. And so I want to break them down for you so you can have an understanding of really what takes place when you launch a new idea, launch a high ticket course into the world. Let's get started. So we've got 3 phases that happen from a launch standpoint, and I'll break them down for you. So I've got my copy of the book, so I'm just referencing this as a reference here. But what happens is the first stage is what I call the experimenter phase, right? This is phase 1, which is launch, and I call this the experimenter. This is who you are going to become in each phase of growing your high ticket course. And so in the launch phase, as the experimenter, your goal is to go from $0 to $10,000 per month. And in this kind of phasing of what's happening is you're testing new ideas. You want to really figure out, do you have a market for your offer? Do you have a demand faucet? Meaning, like, do you have an offer to an audience that people are willing and able to raise their hand and book a call to speak with you? And this is really where we spend most of our time with clients who are just getting started out. Like, hey, I've got an idea. We got to take that idea and just make sure your audience actually wants it. Okay? So this is really what we're really focused on. And so we're creating power offers, creating angles, creating messaging, and we can go from 0 to 10K per month very, very, very quickly if we've got an offer that hits. And so we focus on being lightweight. We focus on really just like creating the minimum viable offer and getting it in front of as many people as possible. Once we get past that $10,000 per month mark, then we move on to phase 2, which is growth. And the person that you are going to become in the growth phase is the builder. So now is where we start to build the infrastructure to make sure we've got something sustainable. We've got something that we can have repeatable results. We don't really want to build a whole lot in the experimenter, like as the experimenter, because we don't know what's going to stick. But once we get past, consistent $10,000 months, okay, great. Now we need to build infrastructure and make it sustainable. And so our goal here is to really go from $10,000 to $50,000 per month. And so what I want us to focus on here is now we start to build the marketing and the sales infrastructure, right? So this could be, launching your mini webinar. This could be, implementing coaches into your program. This could be maybe even hiring a salesperson. There's a lot of stuff that happens inside of the growth stage. And it could be hiring an ads manager, which is, one thing that many people want to do very, very quickly. But you don't want to do it too soon before your ads manager really knows what you're selling. And so going from $10,000 to $50,000 per month, again, can happen very, very quickly. I mean, we've had people go from $0 to $70,000 per month in a matter of 2 to 3 months. Really kind of depends on how hot the offer is and how compelling it is to an audience, right? And so a lot of people tend to just like stay here. A lot of people tend to stay in the $30,000 to $50,000 per month range because they can kind of do that solo, or maybe doing that and hiring a low rate ads manager, because there's not a whole, like, if you're only spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, even $10,000 per month, there's not a whole lot of optimization that has to happen with an ads manager. And there's a lot of people who are okay at that level. And to be honest, like, it's very compelling to stay at that level because you don't really need to bring on a whole lot of extra people or even anyone onto your team. As you start to go into phase 3, which is scale, you now become the leader, right? And going from $50,000 per month and beyond, okay, yeah, you're going to take more of a leadership role because you're going to have to start to bring on some team members. You might have to bring on a salesperson. You might have to bring on some marketing team, a marketing person to help build some additional assets. You might need to bring on an assistant, okay? You might need to bring on some coaches to alleviate your fulfillment. There's a lot of things that you have to consider once you get to that that leadership stage. Some people are born for it. Some people, again, are just wanting to live that semi-retired life, have not have to rely on providing for other people. And there's a lot to be said there. And so from a very macro level standpoint, that is what is required for the three phases of growing a high ticket course business. There are pros and cons of getting to each stage and getting past each stage. And again, once you get to that scale stage, if you want to go past $50,000 per month, then you are going to have to think about what type of team you want to build. You can still keep it very lightweight, but you're going to need some help to get past that $50,000 per month mark. So that's what I've got for you today. I wanted to give you a very, very high level overview of what those phases were, so you have a crystal clear idea of like, okay, if I wanted to make this a 7-figure business, what's going to have to be put in place. So if you enjoyed that, you're going to love what's inside of the High Ticket Courses book. So head over to book.highticketcourses.com, grab yourself a copy, and I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.